Hello and welcome to Peaceful Rebellion. Well, we are here with a very special guest, Isabelle. And Anna is part of the Community Assemblies of the British Isles. And we're going to have a chat with Anna and find out all about it and what she does. Hello, Anna. How are you? Welcome to the channel.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me. It's really nice to be here.
Lovely. So I was given your name by John, who I interviewed a few weeks ago, and he said it might be nice to talk to Anna. Okay, so you agreed very kindly to come and talk to us. So Anna, how long have you been part of the Community Assembly of the British Isles?
Actually, I think it's coming up to 3 years.
Right. Okay. And what attracted you to it initially?
Well, I heard John being interviewed, and it was the first time that I heard somebody offer a vision for what the future could be like.
Mm-hmm.
That resonated with me because, like so many people around the world, I am acutely and often painfully aware that the trajectory that those who hold the strings of power are pulling us in
Mm-hmm.
is anti-human, anti-nature, anti anything to do with spirituality.
Mm.
And I decided, actually, very early on, before even hearing about the community assemblies of the British Isles, that I wanted to offer a counter to that. And I started up 3 YouTube channels,
Okay.
all with the aim of bringing light in a time of darkness. So I was already thinking about what I could do to contribute a counter to what was on offer, to help people find healing, to help people find light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, as I say, I heard John in interview, and what I really loved about what he offered were 2 things. Firstly, it was like resetting to the old way of doing things, or I should say kind of the ancient way of doing things on these islands, which was it reminded me of the Saxon assemblies that people had. And this is a very, very much I think we go back to also anyone who reads the Icelandic sagas or the Scandinavian old literature will be familiar with this concept of the group coming together and making decisions together, and things being decentralized. So when I heard that, I recognized it. It's something that I'm familiar with as a concept. Sadly, not something I'm familiar with from experience, because that world went a long time ago. I think some would say it went as soon as we got the Norman conquest. So there was that. But the other thing that was really pivotal in my decision to join was that John was talking about guidance from spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And that this is a spiritual endeavor. And that then prompted me to invite him onto my own channel, In the Light Growing Your Soul, to meet him and talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that, I knew, good, I think this is definitely a good fit for me, because he's genuine, and it's a shared vision.
Mm-hmm.
And my thought was, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do here. How I'm going to fit anything else into my life, I don't know, because I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, I'll attend the meetings and I'll feel it out. I'll just see. And that's what I did. And that's a long answer to your question.
Okay, that's super. You're referring to your kind of background as a spiritual background, and you're saying that you joined 3 years ago. So did you set up your YouTube channels during when the pandemic was happening, when all of that was going
I
on?
did it. I lost my father in 2020. And I started the channels in 21 because I needed time to process the extraordinary things that were happening around us, as well as going through my own personal process of integrating everything that was happening to me.
Sure.
But I knew in 2020 I was going to do it. It was just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah.
When, to be able to do that. And that's when I did it.
Okay. Would you consider yourself as always a spiritual person? Have you been spiritual most of your life, or did something happen?
Yeah. So no, it's a natural kind of evolution. Spiritual growth always is a natural evolution. And many of us begin with religion. Mm-hmm. So as you will recognize from my name, I do come from the Iberian Peninsula, which is very, very Catholic in its roots and mm-hmm. its traditions. And although my family were not churchgoers as such, from the earliest time, I was wanting to drag my parents into churches because I thought they were the most extraordinary places. And my mother recounts, how I used to just go around making sure that everybody was quiet because I liked that sense of sanctity, I think, and quiet, although I couldn't articulate it because I was under 5, I think. I liked it. And the reason I'm articulating in that way now is because although I don't spend time in churches anymore, that is still what I like about them, is that that sense of quiet and stillness that's there. So it begins with that, and then we emigrated to Canada, and I was in Catholic schools. But the beauty of the Catholic schools that I went to is that they never taught religion as such. It was theology, and there is a difference. Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't about doctrine. It was about asking questions. And so already, and my absolute best theology teacher was a nun, Sister Judy, who had the biggest heart and who encouraged us to think about things beyond rules and understand the heart behind everything. So that was good. But everything is mixed because my father was also a spiritualist. And so, and it wasn't that my mother wasn't, but he was the one who introduced that to me. And so we'd also spend time sometimes in spiritualist churches, watching mediums work. And that was another strand. And aligned with that, later on, whilst I was at university, I met my partner who introduced me to astrology. And that was another opening. So there's all these different strands. So that's why I'm saying true spirituality is about the exploration of the numinous. It's not about one thing. It's about trying to piece together why we're here, and nobody has the answer to that. We'll spend our lifetimes theorizing about that. But from that comes a desire for meaning and an understanding of soul and our place here. And that is ultimately, I think, what drives me.
Okay, lovely. An interesting background in spiritualism as well. So a question for you then on the community assembly. You have a role that you play in that group, yes? What specifically do you do?
It's funny that because I have no idea what my role is really. It's not like you've been given a job description. But the beauty of being part of the Community Assembly of the British Isles is that we all get to discover what it is that we're going to do and what it is that we're going to contribute. So technically, there is one title, the title of facilitator. And that title is there because I am, with two others, a facilitator for a place in Cornwall. And that is not unusual because that's how we form assemblies. Three of us get together and then more people come and we do things together to create community. And this is very much in the embryonic stages because I also was doing something I was also a facilitator for community in another part of the country because I'm in a transition of moving. So that side of things is yet to develop. As I say, it's embryonic. It exists. More will come. But my challenge was to think of what I could do to help us grow, to help bring people together from my sofa. Because as I've already said, I am extremely busy and it's almost impossible for me to fit anything else in. And this is 3 years ago. It's worse now. So I thought, okay, what I can do is I can get people to meet online. And the first thing I did was I started the YouTube channel for the Community Assemblies, in which I could interview various members about different things that they're doing so that people could get to know about us and find us. So that was the first thing I did. And that came naturally because that's something I already do. Then I thought, okay, so I need to start an assembly. So I did that. And that's a slow thing. Then I met a beautiful woman who started a healing hub in Surrey. And I thought, wow, that's brilliant. I wonder if she'd like to join. Well, she did. And in the course of my own work, because I am an analytical hypnotherapist, and the channel In the Light Growing Your Soul, I have met many extraordinary and amazing healers of different disciplines. And I thought maybe I could do something similar to what Elsha's done and collect them and meet once a month so that they could learn about community assemblies and maybe some of them will join and we could learn from each other and bring that back to our communities. So that's what we did. So I did, and we do meet once a month. I am absolutely strict on time because we are all super busy. 1 hour once a month, we meet, exchange ideas, and out of that, shall we say, babies have been born. So we now have initiatives that, so one of them is I do interview them for our Health Matters, for a Health Matters series that I started for our members only. And these are a series of interviews that help us to better understand our bodies and what we need to stay healthy. And more is to come from that. And also we now have different initiatives going for our members. So Charlotte Tedds, who is a somatic healer and does trauma and tension release exercises once a month now, holds sessions for our members, those who want to join. It's online, so it's easy for everyone to access. And we have another one who is Deb, and forgive me, Deb, your surname for the moment is gone. But she also offers sessions on the Bukteo breathing method, and that is proving also to be extremely popular. I'm going to be grabbing a couple of our members very soon to start teaching massage so that we could look after ourselves and our loved ones through touch. I myself am planning to run some classes on self-hypnosis so that people can understand how to work with their energies. I also do provide discounts for members who want to work with me personally or attend workshops, so that there's a variety of healing opportunities to support the community. But that's not all that I decided we needed. So a lot of our members are engaged in, let's call them disputes with the system, where unjust fines, for example, over speeding or parking or whatever have been imposed upon them, unjust taxes that we know are not going towards our communities but end up fueling war elsewhere. So they are disputing, though, that others are engaged with utility companies that are either, say in the case of water, providing water that is of poor quality, to say the least. I would say suspect quality. Others are engaged with disputes over the imposition of smart meters for both water and energy. And John does makes a heroic effort in helping us all find our way through these disputes. And I figured actually what we need is for our members to have the opportunity to learn from him. So thus began the Legal Hub, also once a month for an hour. And our members who are engaged in such things, therefore, can have a platform in which they can learn and share information, etc. And as I know that you in Spain are very aware that there is a concerted effort to interfere with food production in our countries, which is affecting farmers. And I thought, well, what can we do about that? So I started a farmers forum, and that is bringing together people who are very active in helping people be self-sufficient in food, helping farmers learn about how to be more independent from the system. And there are extraordinary people who are doing amazing things, and I am always in awe every time I hold the meetings as to what is happening and how we can support each other. And added to that, I've added a herb club so that people can learn from their experience of using herbs together. And that's always joyous. And just this month, there is one more. And there is an animal healing hub, which brings together professionals who are of a holistic disposition or a more conventional disposition to help our members so that we can learn from them how to keep the animals in our lives healthy, because that is also extremely important. So this is a very long answer. And as you see, it's not a role as such. It's more of a creative process. And it's hugely, I was going to say, beneficial, but it's also so much fun. And so I am, though, the hours that I spend with our members dreaming up initiatives, seeing them begin to take root and flourish, and crucially bringing facilitators who are in different parts of the country also together so that we can inspire each other and work together, I think is amazing. And although I'm talking about what I'm doing, that's just me. Everybody else is doing so much. And I can only answer your question because your question is about me.
Sure.
But it's not about me. It's about everybody and what everybody else is doing, collaborating to create something wonderful.
Okay, lovely. Very, very nice answer. Can I ask you, and this might be something that you can't do, but if you were going to take a step back and give me an overarching vision, what's the intention of the Community Assembly, ultimately, the ultimate intention?
The ultimate intention is to help people be free, and to be free to live their lives in a conscious, ethical way, to discover for themselves that they are incredibly important and valuable, to discover that every single person has something valuable to offer. And the reason this is so important at this time is because the structures that have been built are actually disempowering. And they are building dependence rather than independence. Nobody can move until they've consulted an expert. Nobody can move until they get a certificate. To the point where our own creativity is on the verge, I think, of being destroyed. People who believe they can't sing because, well, they're not famous or they're not in a group. People who can no longer fix things for themselves. Now, largely also, that's because everything has become so technical and so complicated. But even the simple things, and in fact, the Animal Wellbeing Hub is a very good case in point, and I was marveling at my journey of empowerment, where my dog hurt his paw last week, and I dealt with it myself, and he's right as rain, everything's fine, instead of doing what I would have done when he was a puppy, which would have been panic and rush to the vet.
Sure.
Now, there's a place for experts, yes, but we're talking about simple day-to-day things. People who cannot cook, who don't know how to sew on a button. This is a level of dependency that is unhealthy because it disempowers the individual. And everything that I have always done through my professional career is the antithesis of that. It's about giving people power by believing in themselves and developing confidence. And this, I believe, is what CABI offers, or the Community Assembly of the British Isles offers, is a place for anyone who wants to come in and help build a community. And what that then does is it shows them that they've got something to offer. So really, actually, all we need is people who have a committed heart, are compassionate, and say, I'm not sure what I can do, but I'm going to have a go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what I can offer. And even if it is just a smile and greeting people when there's a meeting, that's a start. Because when you smile and greet people before a meeting, you get talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you spot the opportunity for something that you might be able to help with. And it might be the smallest thing. It might be that you're driving someone somewhere, or that somebody needs help delivering food. And you go, oh, I can do that. It doesn't matter what it is. Everyone is valuable. And we're living in a throwaway world where now people are also of throwaway value.
Yes, very true. Yeah. The biggest push that they have lately is to get people to agree to euthanize themselves. Yeah, talk about throwaway.
Yeah, I know. And Canada is at the forefront of that, as far as I can tell.
Very much so.
Where the concept of helping people who are very down and very low is gone, and instead let's just help them exit this world.
Yeah.
And save a heap of public money, no doubt. So I think this is where we're at. And it's most tragic. And what the Community Assembly of the British Isles offers is an antidote, an alternative, a different vision. And idealistic it is, but impossible it is not.
Well, we've got to have ideals, have we not? Without them, we don't really do much. Can I ask a question about, for example, if somebody was wanting to join, or at least find out a little bit more, what should they do?
Go to our website, and I'm sure that you're going to kindly put that in the description box.
I'll put the website. I'll also put your YouTube channels in there as well for people to have a look there.
Because the website is full of useful information, and that gives you an idea of our vision and what we are about. But beyond that, once you join, and by the way, it is free to join, all that we ask is, as I say, open heart and a desire to help. That's it. Because that contribution is huge. So you join, and if there are people close to you, you might be able to join one of their assemblies. But if not, what would be amazing if you started one of your own. And it takes 3 people to start one of your own. So all you need is 2 friends who are of a like mind. And then you meet once a month and you say, okay, what can we do?
And these meetings are in person, aren't they? I think John said that. They have to be in person,
absolutely. Yeah. Mine are online because I'm working on bringing people from different parts of the country together. Yeah. But my idea was that we do that, we're inspired, and we take that back into our communities. So that's face to face. So that's what that's about. But the meetings, the assembly meetings, are definitely in person. And so you just meet, you have a drink, you chat about what matters, you share the information that you have, So sometimes there are things that we are only going to discuss in person and that only the facilitators are going to have that information. So we want to pass that on to the members of our community. And then that is there. See, the whole, so you asked me about what the aim was, and I said freedom, and freedom for individuals to discover themselves and live to their highest frequency, perhaps we can put it that way. In joy and in creativity, because that's important. So what the Community Assemblies of the British Isles is doing is creating the framework under which that can happen. So I use the word under, and I don't mean that as in a top down. I meant as an umbrella under which we can shelter from the outside world. And together we build everything else. So the framework is there that liberates us. And it's a slow process to disentangle ourselves from the system completely, obviously. But the more we can offer as an alternative, the better. And the more of us there are, then the more options we have for liberating ourselves from the system. And the more assemblies we have, the more standing we have also that strengthens that umbrella or that foundation on which we stand. So it really is a beautiful thing to see as I'm watching us grow.
Talking about growth, I don't know whether you know this information, but have you any idea around about how many members you've got and how quickly the organization's growing?
I'm appalling at remembering numbers. I should have written some down for you, but I am genuinely appalling at remembering numbers. So no, I can't help you with that one. However, we are doing very well, and currently there's about 7 assemblies a week being built.
Being built a week, wow.
Yeah, okay. Or being formed. I say being, but there's about 7 a week being formed. And the more the merrier, because the more of us there are, the more options we have.
Sure, and the more skills enter into
that's exactly what gives us the options, is the skills.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, excellent. So I've got a question I want to ask you, and it's coming from my background, and I've talked a lot about this. I've talked to John, and I was thinking, wow, this is excellent. I talked to a few people, and somebody said to me, well, it sounds like a cult to me. Yeah. What do you feel about that?
Okay, now this is a great question, and I'm laughing because you're asking the right person. I am a hypnotherapist. I do know something about mind control. Okay, so here's how mind control works. I isolate you. I isolate you from your family, your friends. And in fact, I've already clocked that you are a vulnerable person. Okay, that's number one. You're a vulnerable person, which means you're highly suggestible already. There's a bit of desperation about you. Okay, and I am going to offer you salvation. Okay. You don't have to do anything. All right, except come in. And the more we talk and the closer we become, the more I'm going to work on isolating you from your family and your friends. And there will come a day when you will not be allowed to see your family and friends. Does that remind anybody of anything? I think maybe 6 years ago, there might be something similar happening here. So this is how it begins. And it is totally about breaking down the mind and what you believe. And so this is in extreme cases, like in the cases of gangs, even if they don't have this knowledge, they know it instinctively. Once you get the person to commit an act that goes against what they know is the biggest taboo, which is to harm another or to kill another. Now they're fully in the gang. Cults will do that in a more subtle way. So this is now your family. This is now your friends. This is what you think. This is what you believe. And here is your savior and your leader. And you bow down. You do not question. Okay? That's how cults work. And it is about the breaking of the individual. There is no critical thinking. And there is a constant repetition of the message. A constant repetition of the message. A constant repetition of the message. And you will see that. You will see that reinforced everywhere. And you will also see that this is how behaviorists in governments operate in creating the propaganda that the so-called nudge units will use to shift the public's perception and manipulate it in the direction they want to go. So where do I begin with how that is not what we are about? What we're about is connecting with people. It's open. You come, you go, you do what you please. All we're doing is creating a framework to free you so that you can actually do that. See, I think the problem here is that people have become extremely afraid of the word community. And that's because, well, we've witnessed from the West's perspective, communism and the disaster that it means for individuality. And so, and on top of that, we have the latest push that's anti-individual, which would be any attacks on free speech, any attacks on freedom of thought, even now. Freedom of speech is freedom of expression being curtailed. And on top of that, we have the idea of the greater good being the ends that justify the means.
The greater good.
That's right. And this is why the idea of community has now become so threatening for so many people, because that's what they associate it with. And of course, cults do call themselves communities.
Sure.
Okay? So would it be better if we changed the word community to neighborhoods? Are we playing with semantics here? Is that a word has become damaged by the corruption of the concept?
Sure.
Would it be better to talk about villages? The concept of people coming together to exchange services and support each other is not a cult. It's human. Everything else that I've just talked about is the exploitation of that instinct that is very human. And it is the corruption of that concept, which is actually how our ancestors used to live before we became ever more centralized.
Sure.
The point that individuals and the sanctity of life has disappeared. That's the problem. So I hope that's answered your question.
Absolutely, yeah, great. Now I wasn't sure whether I should ask, and I thought, no, come on, let's see. It was good. So you've got a very clear answer on that. Anna, I think, I don't want this video to be too long because people are busy also. So listen, I want to say thank you to you for sharing everything that you shared. As we've said in the video information, there's going to be the links for the website, links for Anna's YouTube as well. so that you can join and go and give her a like and subscribe. That'd be very nice. Last few thoughts, Anna, kind of, how can I put it? More globally, where we are and where do you think we're going to be soon?
Okay, so there are lots of people talking about the fact that the world is changing and we are going to be reaching nirvana. I hesitate because this is a process.
Mm-hmm.
And I also hesitate because it is absolutely vital that people understand that this is not going to be given to us. We have choices to make.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, we're recording this most appropriately for the subject on a new moon in Aquarius. Aquarius being the sign of the water bearer, in which the water that is being poured from the sky is sweet water. It's the refined water of the highest ideals. But on the other hand, Aquarius has a shadow side, which is the side of ideals turning into ideology,
Mm-hmm.
and ideology being the road to tyranny. So we need to navigate through this. And this is a whole other discussion about planetary influences, etc. But if we choose to stop disengaging from and condemning what we don't agree with, and be strong in our own understandings, but open to understanding others, we get the highest ideals of Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
And that means we stop paying attention to the saber rattling that drives war and which is threatening us most strongly at this moment in time. Because that's also a huge possibility because of other things that are other indicators, with Neptune and Saturn conjunct in Aries right now. We have an opportunity here because Aquarius is also about change.
Mm-hmm.
Change properly. Not rearrange the furniture, as in we elect people who fall into the same patterns and actually are going in the same direction. So this is not about left, right. It's not about top down. It's about goodbye to all that. Because that would be real change. And if we can say goodbye to all that, then we will be in that highest frequency. But we are slow to catch on, human beings. We need to work through our stuff. And so I am full of hope. I know we're going to get there, but we need to make that choice to say goodbye to all that.
I'm in complete agreement with that. Complete agreement. So lovely. That's a lovely message. So make your choice well. Choose well, please, everybody. Okay, Anna, thank you so much for spending your time. I really appreciate it. I know how busy you are, so it makes it even more special. And maybe in the future, a little way down the line, we can talk again and you can give us an update on what's happening. Yeah.
That would be lovely. Thank you very much, Gordon.
All right. Take care, Anna. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.